Hi there and welcome back. It's been a couple of days since I've made a video for you, and as you can see on the screen right now, things have gone pretty well for Bitcoin over the last couple of days, and I'm pretty happy. It has basically kept to my predictions. I don't think I can be considered wrong in what I have been predicting or hoping it would go based on what I can see. I thought today would be a very good day to just catch up after the weekend. We've made some decent gains, and I think we are going to see some more. So let's not waste any time. I just want to show you, I've got it on a 1 hour chart right now. I want to show you basically what I see based on from let's call it the 28th of August until today. And then we're going to go to a 1 day chart, and then we can look at more a longer term forecast or prediction that I see anyway, in my limited ability as a chartist. So let's have a look. If we take a line and we draw it over the top of these highs that we've been having from the what did I say, the 28th of August until now. Oh, come on. Until about there. Let's get rid of that, and then we draw another line basically underneath the lows that we've been experiencing until, or up until today. Let's move that there. Okay, well, that's more or less. Let me just, let's make this a little bit smaller. Move this a little bit down, then I can extend these lines so that we can form a decent triangle. Okay, that's about it. We'll leave it at that. As you can see, we've formed a very narrow triangle or pennant or flag, as you like to call it, facing pretty decently upwards, and we've kept within this this triangle pretty well up until now, and I suspect we will keep inside it for a little bit more, at least another day or so, I think, before we break out. Now, which side are we going to break out on? That remains to be seen. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold coming on, and my nose is not so happy. I've got the sneezes, and yeah, my voice is also starting to take a little bit of strain. But let's take a look at the indicators I have here, the MACD and the stochastics RSI. As you can see, we have had a little bit of a sell-off. We've had a little bit of a retracement over the last couple of hours, overnight, and as you can see, the indicators have come down into the oversold area right now, and they have turned and heading back up again. We haven't reached the 50, call it the 50% mark yet, so we are still in bearish territory, but as you can see from this little indicator here, I don't know if you can see it, it's quite small, it is heading basically straight up. And it has crossed the trend line, the longer term trend line, and is now heading up. As you can see there now, we've just started a new candle and it is still heading up. We're very close to the 50% mark, heading into bullish territory, so that is looking good for another slight rise. As you can see, the candles are still green right now, so that's looking good. The MACD at the moment is, as you can see, we've had a little bit of a drop. We've come from the overbought area, and we've had a little drop, but we haven't gone into bearish territory yet. And as you can see by these candles here are basically the difference between the two trend lines, between the 12 and the 26 day trend lines. The longer the trend line, or the longer the candle, the bigger the difference between the two trend lines. And as you can see, we are heading back to zero, so the difference between the two is getting smaller and smaller. And as you can see right now, the blue line, which is the current trend line, is now basically heading horizontal. It has reached horizontal and is going to turn up, which means that when these two are both coinciding and they're both heading up, we can expect that the price is also going to head up. If we can combine that with a little bit more volume, I think we might see a decent rise in price. As you can see here, we have spikes in volume coinciding with rises in price. Another spike in volume coinciding with a rise in price. This little bit here, you can see there's a very slight rise in volume there, and the price rises. So I'm expecting that the volume should rise slightly with these indicators pointing in the up direction, and we should see the price rise a little bit more. Now, where this price is going to break out of this triangle or pennant, whatever you'd like to call it, that remains to be seen. I think we're still going to stay within it. We might bounce off the top line, off the top of the flag once more, and come down and possibly bounce off the bottom once more, and then I think we might head out. Now, which direction we head out, that remains to be seen. I think we might see a little bit of a sell-off if the longer it lasts, or put it this way, we might break out of this triangle or pennant pretty early. I mean, if it breaks out here above the line, breaks through the line and keeps going, and then obviously we have broken out on the upside and things are going to happen. But I would say the longer it lasts inside the pennant and bounces off these call it resistance levels, and resistance and support levels, if you'd like to call it that, you can see we basically tested this resistance level a number of times already, and I think we might come up and test it again. We might even test the support level once more. But I think the longer it stays in here, the bigger the breakout is going to be from it. Whether that's up or down, I'm not quite sure just yet, but I think we need to be ready for, if it does break out on the downside of the, call it the bottom of the flag, if it does break out on the downside of that, I think we can expect a little sell-off, and we might even come down to levels here of 7,200 or so again, from possibly a level of 7,400. So it's not a major drop, but I think we could see a little bit of a sell-off, maybe possibly as much as that, this one here, but it's not going to be a proper retracement. It'll be a small sell-off, people taking a bit of profits, and nothing to worry about in my eyes. I wouldn't go selling my Bitcoin right now anyway. I don't think that is going to be a worry at all. Let's just take a look quickly at the one-day chart. Get the scale right once it's up. Let's just get this all right. Okay, that should be about it. As you can see there, that's the little triangle I've drawn now. Now, if we take that line and we can actually extend it right down over the top of this one, which gives a little bit more legitimacy, and we can even extend this one down that way. It does extend the point of the flag a little bit, but not much. So let's call it there. As you can see, we've headed nicely past this resistance level that I set up. We've broken out nicely, and we are still carrying on inside this flag as predicted. But now I want to show you where I think, well, I have spoken about this before, but this is where I think the biggest sell-off is going to come before we have another major run. We might have a few small sell-offs like this one here as we go up, but I think somewhere around here, around the 8,480 to 8,500, maybe even a little bit higher, but in that band, we are going to see a decent sell-off from there. I don't think it'll be as big as this one. I'm hoping not, but I think that is going to be, that is a big resistance level. If we just move the chart, we can see we've basically we've hit this level a few times, and we broke through there slightly, but didn't last. I'm not going to go further back in the chart, but there are a few times further back that we've actually tried to break through this level and didn't. So this is going to be probably the biggest support level, rather not support level, the biggest resistance level. If we break through here nicely, we should do pretty well after that. But if there is going to be a reasonable sell-off, I think it's going to be at around this level. But up until now, I think we are doing pretty well. The charts are looking good. Let's just have a look quickly at the MACD and the stochastics RSI on the one-day chart. As you can see, the stochastics RSI is sitting right at almost at the top of the overbought area, which could indicate that we are due for a bit of a sell-off. As I said, that is the overbought area, so we could start selling. The MACD is still in positive territory, although only just. There's a decent difference between the two trend lines. The blue current line is above the longer trend line, which is a good sign. If this stays like this, you can see, if you can see there, the blue current trend line is still above the longer trend line, orange one, which is a bullish sign. This is definitely a bullish sign, and if this goes up anymore, we could see the price still rise even more before we start getting a bit of a sell-off. So all in all, Bitcoin is looking pretty good, pretty healthy. Are we out of the woods yet? I wouldn't say so. Is it possible that we could still have a massive retracement and go down to maybe the $6,000 level? Absolutely. Anything is possible. It can happen, but it's getting less and less likely now that that Bitcoin, or rather that the price of Bitcoin is rising the way it does. I'm starting to see less and less of the blatant manipulation, the huge buy walls and huge sell walls put up to keep the price basically stagnant, and that is happening. I can't really see on this chart because I'm not privy to the order list, but if I look at our local one, as you can see, these areas where nothing happened, although that's overnight and it's a very small exchange and it's basically while people are sleeping, but I've noticed you get massive buy walls, massive sell walls put up, and they just sit there. And I have my suspicions that either it is two people collaborating together, or it's one person with two accounts buying and selling to themselves, or it could even be the exchanges themselves, because it seems to be a coordinated effort, which does seem to point towards the exchanges themselves, but we never know. But definitely, there is definitely market manipulation here. I can see it here plain as day, and it's there every day. But they seem to be getting less and less, or the effect of it seems to be getting less and less, and the price is rising slowly. We might still see that they let the price rise a little bit, and then all of a sudden just slam it down. That is possible still. But if you just look at the charts as they are, this is looking pretty good and pretty healthy as far as I'm concerned. Manipulation is decreasing, in my opinion anyway. That's my take on Bitcoin for today. Hopefully you enjoyed what you've been getting over the last couple of videos that I've put out. I know I don't put out a lot. I don't have much opportunity to make these videos, but I thought I had to get this one out today. If you enjoy it, if you like my content, if you think I've provided any kind of value, please like my videos, and definitely subscribe. And if you want to get notifications of when I upload new videos, just click on the bell icon and you will get those notifications. You'll get email as well as a notification in your YouTube. So that's it for me today. I will catch you in the next video, probably in a day or two's time. Cheers.